What is going on, guys? It is Tommy with Kicks and Bricks, and we are live. Today, we are going to be setting up for the Yeezy 350 Blue Tints dropping on January 22nd. So, a few things that I'd like to go over. First and foremost, I definitely think that these shoes are going to be a lot harder to get than what people think. It looks like they were very limited today on JD and Finish Line for early access. There were 9.5 and 10s in some states didn't have any pairs, and those are generally the sizes that have the most pairs. So it's definitely looking like it may be a little bit more limited than we think. So first things first, what I'd like to do is go over some of the sites that are dropping, and then manual, the best sites that I think that I would do if I was running manual, and then we'll get into the bots that I'm running and set up for that. So at 8 o'clock, Undefeated should be dropping. They generally are no manual at all unless they tweet out that they're going to be dropping at 10. And then at 9 o'clock, you'll have Yeezy Supply. Yeezy Supply, if you open up multiple browsers on your Chrome extension, I definitely think it's possible to hit. And what I'll do is I'll go over how I do it. So if you take a look here on the top right, all you do is click it. You click add, and then you simply either continue without an account or sign in, but then you can just choose your color, choose your name, click done, and you'll create multiple browsers. Now they will all be under the same IP. However, it'll still allow you to get different places in queue. You can do the same thing for AMD, PlayStation, or anything that pretty much has a queue. Now, where I think your time is going to be best spent is going to be Hibbett at 10 o'clock, or Dick's Sporting Goods. Those two sites are probably going to be your best bet manual. Now, I do have a link that I was able to generate. It's a manual checkout link for Shop Nice Kicks and for Shoe Palace. So if you want to pause the video and take that down, I'll kind of go over how it works. That way everybody's on the same page. So basically, Shop Nice Kicks, Jimmy Jazz, and Shoe Palace, they all run variants. So every shoe has a variant. So just to give you an example, if we went to Shoe Palace's website, we have to find something in stock. Okay, so these in size 8. So basically what you would do is copy this variant here, and you plug it straight in to your Shoe Palace in between the semicolon and the forward slash, and then you copy the entire link. And once you do that, what that does is it completely bypasses the product page. It adds the item to your cart and puts you straight in checkout. So all you would do is hit enter, and you're right there. So that's probably going to be your best bet in going manual for Shoe Palace or for Shop Nice Kicks. It also works on Jimmy Jazz as well. You could do the same thing for out of stock items if you wanted to. Hold on, let me just take autofill off. So for instance, like those pandas that just came up. See this variant here for these pandas, even though they're not in stock, you can still do it. So you just replace the variant and you'll get your variants. What I'll do is, for anyone that needs them, I'll post the variant. So I'll be live on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. So I'll have all the variants for Shoe Palace, Jimmy Jazz if they're dropping, and Shop Nice. So you'll be able to just take your size that you're looking for and plug it straight into the link. And that's it. So once you plug in the link, copy it, go up here, and just paste it. Even though it's not in stock, it'll still attempt to get you to checkout. So what you would do at this point is you would just refresh until they drop. You would just continue to refresh until you see the sold out's gone, and then you'll have your name. Autofill should be turned on at that point, and then you just add your credit card and check out. So manually, that's probably going to be your best bet. And the good thing about Shoe Palace, if I'm not mistaken, hold on, let me just double check the times real quick. I always get the two mixed up between Shoe Palace and Shop Nice. Okay, so you can run at 9:55 to 9:58 is when Shop Nice drops. So you can run variants for that. And then you can run Hibbit at 10 or DSG. And then at Shop Nice, they drop at 10:08 or 10:10, somewhere around there, very close in between those two. So you could go for all three sites between 15 and 20-minute period and attempt to check out manually. So that's probably going to be your best bet, going manual. And then as far as setting up, so what I'm running is going to be Balko for Shopify. Let me see. So it'll be Balko for Shopify, Mek AIO, Prism and Wrath for Yeezy Supply, and I'll be also running Wrath and Prism for foot sites as well. So to set up for Balko, it's very easy. Just I'll be running undefeated at 8 a.m. And again, so livestock and dead stock, they no longer ship to the United States. So waking up super early for that, it's probably not going to be worth it. I'll be running localhost for undefeated and for Kith. That's probably going to be your best bet, is running localhost for that. And then because foot sites did show grade school pairs, I just want to make sure, because I don't want any grade school. It'd be simply Yeezy 350 minus GS minus grade minus grade school. Always safe mode, so that way you can preload, put something in your cart, bypass queue, and then once the drop happens, take it out. And that's it. I'd run 4 tests. Now the thing with undefeated is I have 7 accounts and 6 of them are clipped. So no matter what I check out on those other 6 accounts, they always cancel. This is the only account that I've had since the very beginning that doesn't cancel. So, and if in case you didn't know, undefeated does not care about multiples. You can run multiples as many times as you want. It doesn't matter. They won't cancel you. So that's the good thing about that. Hold on 1 second. Now at 7 o'clock, also foot sites is dropping as well. Foot sites will be dropping now. I know a lot of stock was allocated to the flex. So I definitely don't know how much is going to be there. However, I am going to run regardless. I'll be running for men's sizes. So let me see. I'll be running Wrath and Prism. So here's Wrath and Prism. They're both set up already. For I guess we'll do Prism first. That way no one's confused. So for Prism, the queue sharing has been clipped, so you will get a captcha for every task that you have, sometimes double. If you start too early, some tasks will double up on captchas. So what I've noticed is I have to load up a few dollars every time to cap monster and 2 cap in order to make sure that I don't run out mid drop. But it's generally pretty easy. So just create your group. Run Foot Locker. You choose your site. Create. You put your monitor input in here. So for the blue tints, blue tints 121677571. And that's it. Make sure your proxy here isn't banned. I usually run my subnet because it's always on. And then create your tasks. I generally don't lump up. A lot of people will put 1 or 2,000 tasks per task group. I don't run that way. I'm more comfortable breaking it down by my providers. And you'll notice that I'm running Diamond, Leaf, and Lemon Resis, and then all Proxy Heaven ISPs. Again, guys, so as far as absolutely, Mek, anytime. Also, as far as ISPs is concerned, I've ran through every provider that there is, whether it's Red Dirt or Oculus. I've had 10 or 11 ISP providers at a time. At one point, the only ISP provider I use is Heaven. So I was able to generate a discount code for you guys on there. So if you guys need it, it's there. And the good thing about Heaven, Nemi also allows, if you cook enough using his ISPs, he definitely will add you to Elite. And then once you're in Elite, you're able to get godlikes and access to Elite unblocked subnets and things of that nature. So that's how I started. So foot sites is pretty explanatory. Prism has not been doing very well on foot sites. I do not allocate a lot of my resources to Prism. I'll run Resi tasks only, but my bread and butter is definitely going to be Wrath for foot sites at 7 a.m. All of my ISPs are on foot sites. And again, guys, I don't think any size under 9 is going to do very well. These are already bricking. Some sizes are already at 300. So I wouldn't run bay sizes at all. So 9+. The only reason these aren't set up yet is because of the restocks that have been going on all day today. So 700 ISPs. I have 300 godlike, a subnet which is 252, and then I have 150 elite ISPs. I'm running Diamond, Leaf, and Live, and Lemon Resis as well. Lemon has not been doing very well for me. Neither has Live. But Diamond seems to cook on foot sites using Wrath. So I usually run the ISPs and my Resi providers as well. And as far as setting up for foot sites, it's not that hard, but I'll do it anyways just to make sure, and just in case there's somebody that doesn't know how. So you just create a task group by this top button here. You go in, you choose your site. Now for Wrath, they do have queue sharing on. So you'll open up Qt harvesters. I won't go in there now because I have my proxies, my ISPs, and my ISPs are in my harvesters there. But open up 2 or 3. You'll get a few to solve throughout the release, but you won't get anywhere close to what you'll get with Prism. And then add your SKU, your profile group. You don't have to do anything back here. Leave it on release mode. You can schedule tasks if you want. I usually go 10 to 12 minutes before drop is when I start all my tasks. And then your tasks should go to tasks waiting for task to pass queue should be the status of all your tasks. Now that's at 7. At 8 o'clock, I'll be running undefeated. I already set up for undefeated on Balko. And then 9 o'clock is the bread and butter. That's going to be Yeezy Supply. That's definitely going to be for botters. That's going to be where you're going to eat the most. And then for Yeezy Supply, I'm running Wrath, I'm running Mek, and I'm also running Prism as well. Now, one thing I've learned about Prism, I found this out the last drop, is in-bot harvesters, for some reason, are working better now than using AYCD for Prism. Before, AYCD would cook on Prism for Yeezy Supply, but I ran on the Belugas for an hour and 20 minutes with no checkouts, very few pass splash. And the second I turned AYCD off and I started using in-bot harvesters, I started hitting almost immediately. So as far as my ISPs, I'm splitting them up between all 3 bots. And I'm running, you can see my tasks are pretty much already set up. I'm running Diamond, Leaf, and Lemon on Wrath. For Mek, I'm running my entire subnet plus 100 elite ISPs, and then Lemon, Diamond, and live resis. And then for Prism, I'm running Diamond, Leaf, and Lemon resis with my godlike and elite proxies as well. Again, 9+ is definitely where I'm going with that. So for inbot, it's pretty self-explanatory. When you create your task group for Yeezy Supply, you put your product ID here. You can find that on yeezysupply.com. Just go in, click the picture of the shoe, copy and paste the SKU number and the web address. Always put a proxy in your monitoring lists that's not banned or locked. And then for CAPTCHA settings, just use default. And then when you go back in, you can go to CAPTCHAs and create a few queue tasks for Prism. Now, Prism cooks Yeezy Supply. I've never had an issue with them. Between Mek, Wrath, and Prism, it's definitely a tie between Mek and Prism on how hard Prism can cook. So that's it for Prism. I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Now, Prism and Wrath both have waiting for sale. So as soon as you start your task, you'll start your task. As soon as queue goes up, you'll start all your tasks. All of them should go waiting for sale. That way you don't lose your V3. So you don't start getting hit with V3 CAPTCHAs before the sale even starts, because your Gmails will be fried by the time the sale goes live. Now, Mek has introduced a wait for sale toggle as well as a V3 test we'll go through in a minute. But yeah, so that's Prism, pretty self-explanatory. I'd open up about 4. What I do is I have 8 harvesters per bot. I open up 4 per bot initial, and then if I see that I'm not passing splash or I'm having a hard time, I take a few out and open up 2 more, and I pretty much do that the entire drop until I can find a mix of what's working. Now, if Firewall is up tomorrow on Yeezy Supply, then your ISPs will not work. So that's why I always have Resi backup just in case. If it was like it was on Belugas or the slides, then ISPs will cook before anything. So that's generally how that works. And then for Mek, setup is a little different than any other bot, only because you can't change anything once you've already created your tasks. You can't go in and change sizes, change profiles, or anything like that. It's stuck pretty much with what you created. So basically you go here, you go to Yeezy Supply, you click create, and then you create your tasks. You'll use your product link. Now it takes the entire product link. So not just your SKU, not just the B number, B3, 7571. You need the entire SKU. So let's do that now. There you go. And then once you have the entire SKU, make sure you hit save. If you don't hit save, it will erase. Then you'll choose your proxies. Your cap, that's for your CAPTCHAs. You leave that blank. Now for 3D, this is going to be so when you're running hard cards and you need 3DS, there's a white box that's going to pop up before a task checks out. That is for the proxy that it uses. So if you generally you want to make sure that they're ISPs to use for that white box. So if you're running ISPs already in your task group, just leave it at task proxy. It'll use the same proxy that it used to check to cart in order to pull the 3DS and to checkout. My delays are always 5,000 on every bot no matter what. And then you just simply choose your YS profiles, all your sizing, which will be 9 plus, and then you create your tasks. Now they implemented wait for sale a few weeks ago. I haven't messed with it yet, but I'm probably going to run it now only because it helps my V3 scores not to get hammered before the sale goes live. So I'll have this toggled on, and then they implemented V3 testing a few days ago. Now what that does is, because they added support for Kylan, which is it's like AYCD, it's just different. It's Kylan one click. In order to test your connection with that, you'll highlight this. Now you don't do this during the drop. You do this the night before just to make sure your setup is correct, and then you'll hit play, and you should see requests start to filter in through your Kylan at that time, but always make sure you turn it off. And that's it. Yeezy Supply is pretty much start and wait. So once you start all your tasks and they're all in queue, you kind of just sit back and cross your fingers and just hope for the best. That's pretty much it on that. And then at 10 o'clock is going to be all your Shopify sites. Kith, it's going to be Jimmy Jazz, Shop Nice Kicks, BB Ice Cream. And then Dover Street will be at 11. Now again, for myself, I run Kith at 10 o'clock. They seem to have a decent amount of stock. I'm pretty good with them. I usually hit. And then for Kith, it's going to be the same thing as Undefeated. You're just going to run early link and you're going to run keywords. So what I do for Balko is I use Group Monitor for Kith. And I'll just go over this really quickly. So this way, in case early link takes a little while to start registering the product, your keywords will pick up faster, and then all of your tasks will go to keywords and you'll start to check out. So for selecting site, just choose Kith. I always run local host. And then for creating task, it's going to be the same thing. And then always safe mode for preloading. Now, guys, just a suggestion. I always use privacy for Shopify. What I found with privacy for Shopify is I never get declines. I don't have to worry about 3DS. And it works very well. So I'm able to jig my address, change the name, change the email, and it still works. It still checks out because privacy, you don't have to have a matching billing address. You can create whichever one you want. So I'm able to create multiple profiles with jigged addresses and check out on multiple emails without ever having a cancel. And Kith is notorious for canceling. They're just like foot sites when it comes to cancels. My delays on Shopify are always 3333. You start at 10,000. And I generally start for Yeezy's Kith queue backs up about 15 to 20 minutes before drop. So what I start doing is I start testing my tasks at about 30-35 after, just to see if there's any queue buildup. And if there is, I try to time it to get out of queue around 56-57. And they throttle proxies immensely, very hard. So if you're running ISPs, if they're not absolutely clean, you're definitely going to get throttled and you're not going to check out. The site is fried for Yeezys on Kith. And that's it. The group monitor. So what I would do is I'd leave 2 at Yeezy 350 minus GS for keywords. and then I would insert early link for the other two, and then I'd run it that way. That way, whichever task picks up first, all of them will duplicate and start to check out immediately. Now that's pretty much it, guys. I will be live on Saturday starting at 8 o'clock. Well, I'll be live at 7:30. You know what? There's going to be foot sites dropping. So I'll probably be live at 6:45 on Saturday. I'll be live all day, probably until 10 or 11. I'll be here to answer any questions, or I'll be here by myself. Either way, I'll be here all day long. It doesn't bother me. Mainly, guys, what I'm trying to do is build a network of people who either bot or go manual that just want to either learn or just want to hang out and chop it up. Shoes is my passion. It's what I love to do, but it also is what pays the bills. So I'll be here if you guys have any questions. Let me just check my list, make sure I went over everything. So for Gmails, for passing splash, what I've found as far as passing splash is concerned is I use ISPs to pass splash. I don't buy capture proxies. I did when I first started botting, but to be 100% honest with you, it's a waste of money. It's not worth it. It essentially what capture proxies are banned proxies. And on some bots, if you don't have access to Yeezy Supply, you can't get past splash anyways. So generally it's not worth it. I run a mix of EDU manuals, which are the ones that don't go through Gmail. You actually go to the school portal and you have to log in that way. And I run just either 08s or 2014 Gmails, all on ISPs, farm 24/7, pretty much. That's how I usually pass splash. It takes about 4 or 5 minutes to start passing splash. And then 11 o'clock, DSMNY. It should be dropping Dover Street Market. What up? What up? What up? I'm just about to wrap up. What are you running on Saturday? Nice. I definitely think this is going to be a limited release. The early access today on Finish Line and JD was extremely limited. There was sizes. They didn't even have sizes in some states. Are you running ACO or no? Yeah, we'll see. I found that link as well. The checkout link we were talking about yesterday. So the variant, if you put the variants inside here, and then you copy and paste the whole link for manual, and that way you're able to hit both. We'll see. We'll see. But for manual, this should definitely do it. But that should be it. I went over everything, pretty much setting everything up. Again, guys, stock's probably going to be very limited. Don't expect much on stock. And if you have any questions, I'll be here all day Saturday, either by myself or whoever decides to join. What's going on, Luke? Rod, have you used wait for sale toggle on Mek AIO? Do you use that or you leave it off? Okay. So then I'll run it as well. Because they said it was something brand new. And then now they have V3 test for Kylan as well. Are you running AYCD or are you running Inbot for your harvesters? Okay, same. Well, I'll be here Saturday, guys. Rodney, come through. Luke, come through. Everybody, come hang out with me. We'll spend the entire day trying to cook up as many blue tints as possible. Yep, definitely. That's what Prism said. They're pushing HCAP AI soon. But Prism hasn't been doing very well for anything but YS. But I'll see you guys on Saturday. Hopefully we'll cook some blue tints. If you guys have any questions, drop a comment. Ask your questions in the comments. I will reply to them. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Turn on notifications. And I will see you guys Saturday at 7:45. Guys, have a great day.